hate my shirt. This is just so crazy. You'll never hear me say, I'm a hugger. Do you know so-and-so? Oh my gosh. And so-and-so, I got the greeter not even saying hi to me. You are not responsible for other people's good time. Welcome back to Talking Too Much with Hannah O'Reilly. I'm Hannah O'Reilly. All right, I want to talk about the elephant in the room. I hate my shirt. Okay, I'm just going to say that right off the bat. I hate it. I look like a zookeeper. But I've changed shirts so many times now, and they were either too boring or too loud, and we're sticking with too loud. I don't know what's going on with the sleeve length. Usually I like this shirt. It's not suiting me today. Okay? The hair, all of it. Like, it's just one of those days where nothing is working looks-wise. But I'm just going to suck it up and put on a great show because that's show business, baby, and that's why we're here. So, how is everyone? Not that you can answer, but what's up? How are we? I'm chilling. I am coming off of a long, busy weekend. I told you guys in my last episode that I had my 10 plus 1 year reunion, high school reunion, so 11 years. And I'm going to talk about it. So, it was good. Everyone that was there was so sweet, okay? Like, I just felt like such an appreciation for the people that came. And it was such a small group. So I graduated with like 198 kids, okay? And I want to say, I should have taken a head count. I want to say maybe there was like 12 to 15 people there. And then they had significant others. So it was a decent crowd. But I felt like everyone that was there was meant to be there. Like I got to have like one-on-one conversations with people that obviously I haven't seen in 11 years. There's still some people from high school that like I'll run into, I cross paths with, but these kids that showed up, we're all like going to be 30. They just, I don't know. It was just nice. It was nice. Like, I just give everyone so much credit. Like, some of them just like showing up on a whim and making the best of it. Like, one of the guys there, he was asking questions like, all right, favorite teacher, go. Favorite memory from high school, go. Like, getting us to chit chat, and it was bringing back memories. And I'm like, this is just so crazy that some of these stories we're sharing, only the people here, and obviously the 180 others that didn't come, would know what we're talking about. Like, it's such, I don't know. I just thought that was cool. Not to be cheesy, but I thought that was cool. And it was a really good time. And one of the guys came over to me and was like, I just want to say thank you so much. He probably saw the pod. He saw how stressed I was on the pod. He was like, I just want to say thank you so much for putting this together. Like, I know it was probably not easy tracking everyone down and organizing this, and we just really appreciate it. And honestly, that made it all worth it. So everything I was complaining about in the last episode, forget that, because it really was such a good night. Now, it got me thinking, like, this, okay, so this is something that I always struggle with, all right? So let me say this. I am not a physical touch person. When I tell you, you'll never hear me say, I'm a hugger, you'll never hear me say it. I won't. I'm not a hugger. I'm really not. Like, I'll do it. Please, I'll do it. Gun to my head. But I'm not excited to do it, okay? And I get really stressed when it comes time to greet people because I don't know. I'm like, I think I'll hug everyone. Like, I think that's what we're going to do. I like when someone else initiates the hug, then I don't have to worry about it. It's crazy. Like, does anybody else stress about this? Like, is this just a me thing? I don't know. So, since I planned the reunion, I felt like it was almost like my event in a way. Like, I should spearhead a lot of the conversations. I should work the room. I should, make sure that everyone comes in, gets acknowledged. And I pretty much hugged everyone. But then, like, if they had their significant other with them, like, I was like, do I hug them? Do I shake their hand? I went with the handshake. I don't know. The fact that I'm still thinking about this, like, it really gives me anxiety. I don't know what to do. Also, I want to say, it's very confusing being a girl and, like, greeting people, because it's like, do we shake hands? Like, is that the normal thing to do? Or do we hug because we're girls? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, guys, it's just like a given. Like, you shake hands and that's that. Girls, I'm like, I don't know. This could go either way. And I start, like, sweating. I'm like, oh, I don't like this. So Let me know in the comments down below. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Hugging or shaking hands? Also, like, did you ever go in for a hug for someone and like they were not expecting you to hug them and like you can feel they're just like so stiff? And I'm like, I didn't even want to do this. I did this because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And now you're not reciprocating and now I feel weird. My biggest nightmare. Anyway, so the reunion was great. I ended up staying later than I thought. I was there way later than I thought, which was great. I mean, it was a sign of a good time. Like, just so many memories and stories, and it was really fun. So I'm happy about that. Okay, so speaking of hugging and handshaking and yada, yada, yada. I was at a coffee shop last week filming a video for work, and I was sitting there and they were like preparing food and they were going to bring it out so I could obviously shoot some video of it. And there was a girl there who I work with her sister. So one of my coworker sisters was at this coffee shop. And she got up and I was just like minding my business, like editing a video while I was sitting there. And she got up and came over to me. I'm talking about this like it's like some crazy concept, but in today's day and age, I feel like it kind of is. She came over, introduced herself, looked me in the eye, said, I wanted to come say hi. You work with my sister. Didn't pretend like, you know, when like you see like someone's like, they know who you are and they pretend they don't, and they'll just like mind their. I don't like that. I hate that. I need to acknowledge how I know somebody. If I meet someone that maybe I know is a friend of a friend of a friend, I'll bring that friend of a friend of a friend up. You know, like I'm always trying to make connections. I'm like, oh my gosh, like even if I'm like, if I don't know them, I'm like, are you from the area? Where'd you go to high school? Do you know so and so? Oh my gosh, and so like I'm connecting the dots, and people don't do that. This girl coming over to me to say hello, I'm not kidding. I was like, I am so impressed. I really was so grateful for that. But that was one of those situations I'm like, do I shake her hand? Do I get up and hug her? Like this is, why? Why is this my biggest anxiety? It's so crazy. Anyway, I gone are the days of people just going out of their way and introducing themselves and making small talk and, you know, all that. It's really sad. Like, I don't know why it is so difficult for people to just say hello. If I'm walking by someone like on the sidewalk or if I'm within a certain, isn't it like an unspoken rule? If you're within a certain amount of feet from someone, you just say hi. Hey, how are you? Hi, how you doing? Keep moving. People don't do it. They don't do it. Okay, where I grocery shop, I got the greeter not even saying hi to me. It's your one job. Hi, welcome, thanks, have a good night. Those are your lines. I stopped saying hi. I have such beef with this greeter at the store. I don't even look at him. I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm not doing your job. Unless we're going to get a joint bank account and your paycheck's going to get funneled into my stuff, I ain't saying anything. Sorry. I do it for free enough. You get paid to do it and you can't even do it. Anyway. Back to meeting the girl at the coffee shops. It's never just like a, hey, how are you? And then like, I just move on with my day. Like I fixate, I think about interactions. I think about the bigger meaning of the interaction. I don't know. Don't ask. So she was so sweet. So then I ended up, you know, walking around the coffee shop and I'm filming. And she was with one of her girlfriends, and the friend ended up saying hi to me and was like, hey, like, oh my gosh, you create content, like just making small talk. Like it was just them and me, and they were like, we're going to chit chat with her. And I thought that was the nicest thing. So we're all chit chatting and like, I don't know, they just had such good energy, these two girls. I thought about it for the rest of the day. I was like, they made my whole day. Like then I had another shoot after that and I was like in such a good mood because of the interaction with them. Okay, and now this is like where I get deep about things. Their energy was so good that it made my day. And it got me thinking, you know, a lot of times we stress about, I mean, I started off the podcast stressing about my zookeeper uniform. We stress about what we're wearing, how our hair looks, you know, I don't know, just like our body, all the things that go on in our heads. And realistically, like I was chatting with those girls and because their energy was so good, I now remember them and I'm like, they're the coolest girls ever. Like that's where my mind went. I'm like, they're cool girls. And I just moved on with my day. I didn't think about what their hair looks like. I didn't think about what they were wearing. What size they were. Like, I'm not thinking of any of these things. I'm like, they talked to me. They were nice, great energy, good people. That's it. And it just got me thinking, like, that really is the basis for a lot of these things. Like, we stress and we're like, oh my God, like everyone's staring at me. I'm so ugly, this, that, and the other. And it's like, the biggest thing we should be putting on every day is not so much our zookeeper shirt, our energy. Because guess what? If your hair looks great, your outfit looks great, and your energy is at rock bottom, I don't think you're cool anymore. Like, you ever see these girls, like, they think they're all that. They look good. They're walking in. They got a little bit of attitude. Guess what? You're not all that anymore. Because your energy, I can feel it. It's not good. Get it away from me. I don't care where you got your shirt. I don't care that it's an extra small. I don't care that your hair's straight or curly or whatever. I don't care. You're boring and you had bad energy. And that's what sticks out to people. So when you're having a bad hair day, outfit day, whatever, overdo it with your energy and your go crazy with your energy. No, but like if your energy is there and you can really, now people will say like those things go hand in hand. If you're feeling good, you act good. And that is true. But some days you can't control it, okay? You just are not feeling yourself. If you can fake it till you make it and show up with the best energy, look people in the eye, have good conversations, you won the day. You won the day. And trust me, halfway through the day, if you're going to be so delulu and convince yourself, you know what? We do look good. We look good. We have good energy. And you just keep telling yourself that and you go into public and you go to work and all these things, your day is most likely going to turn around because that's how you led your day. You led with the good energy. You didn't lead with what shirt you were wearing. You didn't lead with what your hair looked like. Now, all that to say, does that mean over the weekend I didn't feel like a slob kebab sweating at a premier soccer game at MetLife Stadium? Of course I did, okay? Of course I did. But I did have to remind myself, no one cares. No one cares. Smile, chin up, put your shoulders back, look people in the eye, have good conversations, be interested in others. You're good. You're good. Okay? So that I want people to keep that in mind. So I mentioned before, reunion Friday, and then on Saturday, I was at a premier soccer game, if you didn't get that from what I just said. So we were at a premier soccer game watching Everton play at MetLife Stadium. It's a soccer, if you're not familiar, it's a soccer team based out of Liverpool, and they are in the United States right now. And we went to a game because Dylan's like a huge fan. So a bunch of us went, and it was a great time. But it really, honestly, like, it got me thinking, like, so this is something I've been wanting to work on. I constantly feel responsible for other people's good times, okay? I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm an extrovert that, like, I almost feel this responsibility. Like, if I don't do it, nobody will, even though I'm with other extroverts. I just have put this on myself, like, I got to make sure this is okay, and I got to make sure this is organized, and this is set up, and everybody's having a good time. Does anybody need anything? And it is like, the best way for me to describe it is like, I'm putting other people's emotions in a backpack, and the backpack is so heavy, and I don't leave the house without putting the backpack on my back. Just a little visual for you. So with the reunion, like, I felt like, now I was the one that organized it, but leading up to the event, I was like, it's my responsibility to make sure everyone has a good time. It's my responsibility to make sure we're having good conversations. And, you know, then I got to the event and I looked around and everyone was taking care of themselves. Like, no one was looking at me to be the one to make sure they're having a good time. Same with the premier soccer game. Like, I can do so much to bring the energy that I want to bring to the game and to the event, but I can't make anyone have conversations. I can't make anyone have a good time if they don't want to have a good time. The same way they can't make me have a good time if I don't want to have a good time. And this has been something I've just been doing for a long time. And I don't know if it's like the older sister in me on top of being the extrovert. I don't know. I'm sure we could unpack all this. But this weekend was such like a pivotal weekend for me. Like, I walked away with the reminder of like, you can only do what you can do. You can only control what you can control. Everything else is going to figure itself out and work itself out the way it should. And 9 times out of 10, it always goes better than what I thought. I was listening to a Jay Shetty podcast, and like, he is my new go-to. Like, I know who he is, and I've seen like the clips on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and all that. But I never like sat and watched an actual episode of his podcast. And the 2 that I saw were only like 25 minutes. Like, it was perfect. And the topics were so good. And one popped up on my feed on YouTube, and it was basically about what I'm talking about. Like, feeling like you are responsible for other people's emotions and how you're really not. It's like that saying, like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. That's obviously like an old saying from back in the day, because this is probably something people have struggled with for a long time. You can't make anyone do anything if they don't want to do it. So he was talking about how you think that you're doing people a favor by bending over backwards and making sure everything is perfect so that they have a good time. But in reality, you're not helping them at all. You're not changing the situation. Like, you're bringing good energy and you're bringing good vibes, and like, obviously that has an influence on an event. But at the end of the day, like, the other person is responsible for what they bring to the table. The same way I'm responsible for what I bring to the table. Now, this is not only about like events and stuff. This is just like in general. So like, if you have someone in your life that maybe you feel like, I got to make sure everything's perfect. I got to make sure, that, I don't know, you just always are making sure, like, you're almost like lighting yourself on fire to keep them warm. You're not helping them at all. And you do it because you care. That's the thing. You're doing it because you care about them and you want them to be okay at all times. But you're actually hurting yourself by doing that. You light yourself on fire to keep them warm. And what does that do? All it does is light you on fire. That's all it does. And it burns you. So Jay Shetty talks about how we care so much about people in our lives that we're willing to do anything. But you don't realize that you're actually hurting people by doing what you're doing. You're hurting them by not making them hold on to their emotions and be responsible for their own stuff. All you're doing is stalling any growth that they could have in working through their own emotions, showing up how they should show up. Maybe there's someone in your life that shows up to events and they're miserable. They're negative. It's like, it's impossible to please them. And you do everything you can to make sure they're okay. You're not teaching them anything. And you care. You care so much. But Jay Shetty kind of spun it in a way that's like, if you really care about them, now I'm not quoting him directly, if you really care about them, you'll almost force them to have to work on what they need to work on to better themselves. You want the best for them so badly that you're willing to let them work on their emotions themselves. But we think that we're going crazy, chickens with our heads cut off, to please this person or make sure their emotions stay at bay. And in reality, you're hurting them. They're not learning anything because you're constantly taking care of it. You constantly have their emotions in your backpack. Hand them the backpack. You don't need to carry their backpack. Okay? No matter how cute the backpack might be. I could go down a rabbit hole on this, but it just was such a good reminder to me. And listen, I got to the reunion, I got to the soccer game, and guess what? Everybody fell into place where they should. Everyone had conversations with the people they were supposed to. And the people who didn't want to have conversations, like, yeah, were there a couple classmates that didn't really say much and they were in the corner? Yeah, but like, I went over, I said hello, they gave me nothing. There's nothing I can do about that. Like, I can only bottle feed you so much. And that's just something to keep in mind. You are not responsible for other people's good time. They are responsible for a good time. Now, you are responsible for the energy you bring to the party. Realistically, when you think about it, let's say someone was at a party and had a bad time and started blaming you that they had a bad time. Like, you've done so much to make sure they have a good time, and all of a sudden they blame you for that they had a bad time. First off, does that even happen? Is someone really coming up to you and be like, how dare you not make sure I have a good time? No, but we almost like think that's the case. That's why we go crazy. at the party, at the event, whatever it is. But really, is someone really going to come up to you and blame you? No. So why do we put it on ourselves? What are we afraid of? What are we afraid is going to happen? The person has a bad time? Okay. They'll survive. They'll survive. It's the same thing if like you wake up in a bad mood. I'm not waking up in a bad mood and blaming everybody else in my life for my bad mood. This is my bad mood. It's my responsibility. I need to, and I can choose to marinate it in all day or change it. And I mean, we could even turn this into a whole life lesson. You don't like your circumstances. Don't blame anyone else for your circumstances. It's on you. You change the trajectory. Now, of course, people love to go back in time and, well, I'm like this because of this person. I'm like this because of how I was raised or whatever. Maybe that is true. Maybe that is what initially got you into this headspace. But it's on you to get yourself out of it. If you don't like what's in the backpack, take it out. Take the backpack off. Take things out of it. Add the good vibes into the backpack. A lot of backpack. Anyway, all that to say, you really don't have as much control as you think you do. Like, I really went into this weekend thinking, I need to do A, B, C, D. I need to make sure everything is taken care of. And really, I didn't have as much control as I thought. We like to think we have control and we don't. You can only control yourself. You can only control what you say, what you do, your reactions to things. You can't control anybody else. All you can do is meet them where they're at and just be there. That's it. That's really the most that you can do. We are all responsible for our own stuff. So own it. You don't like something about your situation, change it. If someone doesn't like their situation, they have to change it. You don't step in and change it for them. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to. To wrap this episode up, essentially, it doesn't matter what you're wearing or what you look like. Show up with your energy every day. Show up with good energy. Go out of your way and introduce yourself to people. Look them in the eye. Bring back the art of introducing yourself and making small talk with strangers. And remember, you are not responsible for anybody else but yourself. And that's a word from your local zookeeper, okay? Anyway, guys, that's that on that. Thank you so much for watching. Let's talk too much again next week. Bye.